Hi everyone and welcome to today's Facebook Live. I'm so excited. I have got Sam McFarlane here from Sam Says. Hi Sam.
Hi.
How are you today?
I'm good. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm very excited to be talking to you about your business. I've been an avid follower of your business for quite some time now. And I'd like to share what you do with the world. So let's get started. The first thing that I would love to do is to get to know you a little bit better. So can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Sure. So I'm Sam and my business is Sam Says. I have two little children. They're probably not so little now. They're 10 and 8. And I'm married to my husband, Cameron, who is a mad triathlete.
Yeah, my husband is as well, as you've seen, and my daughter. Are you getting your kids onto the triathlon scene?
We have. They've done a few. They didn't do the one on the weekend, though, but they've done a few, and my son definitely loves them. So he's following in his father's footsteps. Doesn't get it from me.
No, they need to have a support crew. It's okay.
That's right. I think that's a very important role.
I'm actually going to start doing, I keep saying this, and I have to do it now. It's on like Facebook Live. When they start the fun tries for the next season, I'm going to give it a go. So there'll be a random child there with no parents, I think, because who's going to look after Ella? Because it'll be Greg, myself, and Ruby all doing triathlons.
Well, I'll probably be there, so I can look after Ella.
Yeah. Babysitter. I like it. So what inspired you to start your awesome little biz?
So what really inspired me was probably my children, really, I guess, because I was working part-time in a role in marketing and events, and I'd been there for 8 years, and I had a new boss come on board that didn't really understand part-time. I had a 4-year-old and a 2-year-old, so my son was about to start school the following year, and I just didn't know how I was going to manage part-time work with a boss that sort of wanted me to go full-time and a little one starting school, because I wanted to be that mum that was there at the school gate each day to drop them off and pick them up. So I just didn't really know how I was going to make that work. And our mutual friend Ali Price from Motivating Mum just kept saying to me, "Just leave, like you'll find something." And I just, like the planner in me just couldn't do that. But, I got to the stage where I pretty much did just have to leave and just work something out. And from there, I felt that there were a lot of roles in marketing that needed to have social media as a background. So I got Ali to train me up on social media. And from there, I really felt that there was probably a need for other small business owners who would need someone to do their content management for social media. So I sort of started off thinking that I would offer that as a service. And then through Motivating Mum business events, I came across the term virtual assistant, and I thought, yep, that's it. That's what I'll be. And then I found Virtually Yours, and the rest is history.
Oh no, with two people like Ali and myself there behind you, there's no stop. We're quite happy to quit jobs for you and make sure that you do all the things that we think are really easy to do because it's not ours. No, it's good though. It's great. And there really is a need for that, definitely. And I've seen a lot of your work. I think that the way that your clients are presented online is just so beautifully done. It just blows me away.
Thank you.
That's all right. So can you explain a little bit more to our audience about what those main services are that you offer?
So I guess it started off with social media, so creating the content for Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter. And then I sort of worked out that they probably need newsletters as well. So then I started offering that as a service. And then I found out that a lot of coaches and speakers and the consultants that I work with write blogs too. So then that was something else that they needed managed online for them. So I upload them, find images for them, add the clickable links and all that sort of stuff. And then it just sort of said and other admin tasks. So anything really that I guess is on someone's to-do list that they haven't had a chance to get around to doing, then that was something that I sort of said, oh, I'm happy to help you out. I don't mind doing those little database updates or anything like that, website updates and things like that. So I guess I do a range of things, but it can commonly be put together as content management.
Yeah. So it's more than just social media. It's definitely that content management. So does how does it start? What does someone give you to start so that you can go, okay, now I'm going to get that all out there for you?
So it usually starts off with the social media content. So usually I have just a questionnaire that I get them to fill out, and I have a bit of a chat with them to find out more about their brand and what it is that they want to achieve from social media and what they like on social media and what they don't like. And then from there, I come up with a bit of a strategy about the sort of things that I think that would be good for them to share online. And then I'll put that to them. I'll put together a draft, and then once they're happy, I'll put it together and schedule it for them. If it's something like a blog post, then they'll usually write the content and then they'll send it to me either in a Word document, sometimes just in an email, and then I'll upload it for them on their website and add any images and clickable links and things like that. And then for newsletters, it can be a bit of a mixture of me coming up with a bit of a draft plan for them and then them writing some of the content like the welcome note and things like that. So it just really depends on where they're at, what they want to hand over, and I guess what sort of systems and processes they have in place for that when they start.
Yeah, okay. So do you ever have someone send you, one article, for example, and then that becomes in itself a whole bunch of different things, so they only have to send you the one thing?
Yeah, absolutely. So from one article, you can get a lot of content from that for social media posting, which is really great. And then also a lot of the time we can, if they've got a LinkedIn profile, we can add it to LinkedIn as an article, which is another way to sort of get more use out of it. You can also use that article, I guess, for part of a newsletter. So there's certainly lots of ways of repurposing that content. So one blog piece is never just one blog piece. It can always be broken up into little chunks and used for a lot more and repurposed, which is really good.
Yeah, repurposing. I like that. So, and people, a lot of the people that you seem to target would have, although Ali would not be one of these, I recall her saying she'd rather poke herself in the eye with a ballpoint pen, but a lot of them would have a book.
Yeah, that's true. Yep. So a lot of clients that I work with are authors as well. So there's so much content in their books, which can be repurposed and reshared on social media. Chapters can be put into blog posts. Paragraphs can be social media posts, and a mixture of everything can be part of a newsletter. So they can absolutely, there's plenty of content from most of the clients that I work with.
What about people who say, you can have, say you've got one piece of content, like, from your book, it's a paragraph, and you've shared it here on Facebook. Can you share it on the other social media platforms, or is that going to just be too many places? Is that a good thing or a bad thing?
What I generally try and do is, I think you could probably share it on other platforms as well, but I probably wouldn't share it all at the same time. So at 12:30 on a Tuesday, I might share it, on Tuesday on Facebook, and then Thursday on LinkedIn, and then Friday on Instagram or something like that. So I think you can definitely repurpose the content, and sometimes you might need to change the style of the way it's written, because obviously Facebook and Instagram are a little bit more interactive, whereas LinkedIn is quite professional. So you might need to change a little bit of the language, but most of the time you can repurpose it on the different platforms.
And yeah, Twitter is a lot. It's bigger now than it was, but it's pretty short. Yeah. At least it's got images now. I don't use Twitter very much, but you can put your images on there now. Yeah.
Yeah, which is great. Yeah, I don't use Twitter that much, but some of my clients do. So, maybe a sentence or two could be pulled from that particular paragraph.
Yeah. Can you see sort of what platforms are you're getting the best timeline. So if you said, okay, well, Rosie, this is the chapter we're going to focus on for the next month even, and you're getting most people reading or responding at this time on LinkedIn and this time on Facebook, is that something that you can see and work with?
Definitely with Facebook. So you've got analytics in Facebook under Insights, and under Posts you can see what actual posts got what reach and what engagement, which is a really good way of being able to see what's popular with your followers. It'll also tell you a time that your followers are, the majority of them are online, so the most popular time to post, which does change, but I sort of use that as a bit of a guide, particularly for Facebook. With LinkedIn, there are insights, but they're probably not as good as Facebook, but you can certainly tell, how, like you can see from the engagement how many people have liked or commented on each post.
Yeah.
And then with Instagram, if you've got a business account, you can certainly see good analytics from that. And other platforms that you can use, other apps that you can get information on, about Twitter as well.
I'm one of those people who, it's quite hard to shut me up. And so when I think of something, I just post it. And so I obviously have a lot of knowledge around the social media stuff, and I've got a good idea of the answers that you're going to give me. But it's so good talking about it, because practicing what you preach is very different, and I tend to just go, oh, that's cool, and I'll just share it, and I don't look at my insights. I just fly by the seat of my pants. I don't know how to work around that. I mean, a lot of people that you would work with are probably similar to that in, planning ahead and holding back and doing it strategically. How do you encourage people? How do you rein them in to do that?
I guess I encourage them to still share content as they find it, because if it's content that they know that their audience would like, then there's no reason not to share that. But the way that I work is I sort of have a plan, so they know that there'll be posts going out at the times that we agreed, and then if they want to post on either side of that, then that's fine. I mean, most of the time, the more you post, the better. And so getting that sort of interaction from posting on the fly is really important as well. So I certainly don't discourage that, as long as it's within reason and it's sort of something that they know that their target audience is interested in, then I have no problem with doing that.
It's got to be better than having those pages where there's nothing happening at all. How do you help people who feel that they just don't give you anything, and they want their Facebook page, for example, or their LinkedIn page to do something, and they just go, I don't know what
Well, I think I encourage them to not just focus on social media, because obviously a lot of people have said that you don't want to build a house on rented land. So if you find that you have all these followers on Facebook and then all of a sudden tomorrow Facebook shuts down, then all of a sudden you've lost your whole audience. So I certainly try and encourage them not just to invest everything in Facebook or Instagram or LinkedIn, and try and get people over to their website as well with some sort of opt-in or something like that. And certainly if they're sharing blog posts and things by their social media, then people, if they're clicking through, they're clicking back to the website, and from there they might see other information that they're interested in, or they might fill out a contact form or download an opt-in. And then once they've downloaded the opt-in, then obviously they'll be on the subscription list. So then you can email them when you've got offers and things like that. So they're part of your database, which you own, where you don't own the people that follow you on Facebook.
Yeah, and you can't even control who sees it. You might have 2,000 likers and and sometimes what I've noticed recently, I had something where after a few minutes, I think it said it was viewed by 7 people or something. It was out of control. But it said that it had, at the same time, it had only been at the same time it had only been seen by one person or something. Well, I can't remember what the terminology is for it. Let me just see, have a quick look. And I just thought that can't be even right mathematically.
No, unless one person watched it 7 times. But
oh, well, that would be annoying. That'd be yeah. Wouldn't it? I do have
on there watching it 7 times.
Just a quick call out to my stalkers group. Thank you for that. So what do you think is the hardest thing for clients when it comes to what you offer as a service?
I think trust. Because they're trusting me, obviously, with logins and passwords and things, and it's their brand. So if I go and post something that doesn't align with their brand, then, you know, that's a real risk for them. So it's really trust and trusting. I mean, obviously, they'll get to see the posts that I prepare for them. I'll always send through a draft, and then I'll go and post it. I'll go and schedule it on their behalf, but it is a bit of a risk when you hand over passwords and logins and things like that to someone, you know, on an email that you might never have met before. So how are you going to trust that they're going to do the right thing? Are they going to speak in your brand voice? Are they going to share images that align with your brand look and feel? So yeah, I think trust is a big thing, and obviously sharing that information. If they're sharing information about their business, which I know that you always say they're sharing their business undies, so they're sharing like their baby with you a lot of the time when they hand over tasks to a virtual assistant. So I think that can be really daunting for some people that might never have worked like that before, and they might be used to having someone sitting next to them in an office doing things that they can watch over and see what's happening and see what they're working on. So yeah, I think
I agree. How do you get them over that first trust hurdle?
Well, I guess just talking to them really. And I mean, I don't want to force someone into doing something that they're not ready to do or they feel uncomfortable with. So I would share other clients that I've worked with and case studies, and I'll show them examples of the work that I'm doing for other clients. And then if they see that that other work is reputable, and then they're more likely to trust in me and hand over that sort of information. So yeah, I guess just talking things through and then letting them sit on it and asking any questions they have and letting them see testimonials from other clients and things like that. So
nice. Yeah, it is hard. It's, as you said, it's their business baby and their business undies and all those things. And it is hard just to take that first step.
Yeah.
Do you usually get people to book in for a discovery call, or do they email you? How do they usually first, try to do that step?
Yeah, so usually they'll email me, and then I'll usually have a chat with them or meet with them if they're local, and then we'll sort of chat through what their needs are and what it is that they're looking for help in, and if they have a particular budget and things like that. So just talking to them, and some clients just want to talk via email if they're international clients, and that works fine too. So just emailing back and forth what it is that they want, and then I'll sort of tell them what I think that I can do and then prepare a proposal for them. And then if they're happy with that, then I have questionnaires and things that I get them to fill out so I can learn more about them and their business.
Nice.
Yeah.
So it's a pretty solid process. So it's nice and simple. They're guided the whole way through.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, because there's nothing worse than, stumbling across a website and then emailing and never hearing back from them, or hearing back 2 weeks later, or, with information that you didn't request, or, So I think I sort of like to work with my clients however they prefer to work. So if it's email, I'm happy to email them. If they prefer to get on the phone, then I'll get on the phone. I'm happy just to work with them at the level that they're most comfortable with.
That's pretty awesome that you're comfortable on both, because over the years, as you know, I'm not a phone person. And because of me, I think, admitting that so loudly, I've heard a lot of VAs say the same thing, whether they're either not really an email person or they're not a phone person, they tend to favour one side. So, and I've dealt with both with phone and email, and you're very comfortable on both. And that's a huge asset just there, because, we are time poor. We've got a lot of stuff that we're all juggling. As you said, you've got the kids and that sort of stuff, and it can make it quite hard. So obviously organisational skills, planning and all that, that's your thing.
Yeah. I mean, I don't love the phone, but if someone's better to talk on the phone and have 10 minutes, I have one client that we meet for 15 minutes every week, and it's the same time every week, and that's just easiest for her because that's the way that she works. And then we communicate via email, but she just likes to have that debrief at the start of the week so she knows what I'm working on, and she can flag anything that really I need to focus on at the start of the week that's a high priority. So, yeah, I sort of just like to work with however they most feel comfortable, because for them it's a big step working with someone. So I don't want to force them to have phone calls every week if they hate the phone. And likewise, I don't want to bombard them with emails if they can't handle, their inbox is overflowing, because at the end of the day, we're there to help them and decrease their workload. So,
yeah, ease their pain. What's funny? Anita's just commented there, the holistic virtual assistant said it can take up to 30 minutes to get back to your train of thought after being distracted. And so she's like me. She's like, nah, the phone, don't like it. I have my phones answered for me. It was the best thing I ever did, because I was feeling so much guilt around not wanting to answer the phone, but it also comes with making calls. But I have discovered that if you say I'll Skype you, I'm fine with that. I think because, I don't like the lag on the phone, and I don't like being able to see who I'm talking to. So I think that's actually more my issue than anything else.
Yeah.
So, once you realise what works well for you and what doesn't, and the best, mode of communication, I know that it's odd, but that's what works for me. So, you've got to work out what works best. And I understand that it does distract you sometimes, and I like Anita's point there, which is why I always try and have meetings scheduled in, so they're not just calling every sort of 10 minutes or whatever. But then sometimes that happens too, but it's not the majority, so work with it. You've got people like me who are the magpies of the world, who shiny object syndrome, all that sort of stuff. I'm like, well, I don't like the phone. I don't like being interrupted, but don't tell me when you're going to call, because I don't like being locked down. So, good luck. I'm not easy, but you know what? With your clients, giving them a comfortable space in which to acknowledge and recognize what does work for them, and being able to support them with that. So me knowing that, and if you said, yeah, that works for me, that's fine, we can do a Skype call on a Monday or whatever it might be, then I'm going to be more relaxed about it. I feel like, okay, cool. I know that way works. I'm not stressed about the call. I'm not stressed about losing an email or whatever it might be. Yeah. So Paul has just made a comment as well. Not a fan of the phone as it's a distraction, but would prefer the phone over Skype because I can walk around if I need to. Well, if you've got it on your phone, I can't walk around. I've got kids out there. I don't know if you've been able to hear them or not. But if I walk around out there, it's like Jurassic Park. So, yeah. So any more questions from the panel? Trying to think if I've got any more questions. So with how much do you feel you need to keep on top of new platforms or, different ways of communicating? Like, podcasting is obviously really taking off now. So there's, content repurposing right there. There's always new platforms, new learning programs, all that sort of stuff. How do you fit that into your business structure? So
I'm a bit of a course junkie. So if I see a new course, then I get all excited that I can learn something. So yeah, I think it is so important to stay on top of everything that's changing, because it is constantly changing. So I'm always looking out for new courses and online training and things like that where I can learn a new skill. And I listen to lots of podcasts as well. I don't have any clients that have a podcast, but I do listen to a lot of them. So that's another way of sort of taking in learning as well. So yeah, I think staying on top of everything that's changing is very important in the online world, and particularly with social media, because it is constantly evolving.
Yeah, I completely agree. And we often joke about your addiction to training, but it's so much better than someone who just doesn't train at all. It's, if you're going to pick one, you're on the right one. So.
Yeah. I think I'm a bit more streamlined now, and I sort of don't just do anything that I see, but I'm a bit fussier now.
Oh, you're an Invictus student now.
Yeah.
Yours. Paula just commented on the Skype thing. She doesn't like the idea that they may request video. That's why I like Skype. I don't care what you look like. I don't care if you're in your jammies. I was doing a webinar once where someone didn't realize they had their camera on, and they actually had just hopped out of the shower. They were dressed, but they weren't feeling well, and they had tissues stuffed up their nose. This is a Viva member. And I'm trying to message her and kind of go, your camera's off. It was so funny. But you know what? I love that connection. That's why I like Facebook Live like this. I love it because we can see each other, and it's just a lot more fun. So yeah. So Paula, now I'm just going to assume you've always got tissues up your nose because you don't want the video on. So we're on to you. Yeah, she's just hopped out of the shower. We're on to you, Paula. All right. So for someone who's thinking about getting some support with content repurposing, social media or admin, what would be your piece of advice for them?
So my advice would probably be to ask around other people that they know that might have worked with another virtual assistant or someone that can help them in that area. And then if not, jump on to Virtually Yours and put in a job lead, and you'll get all sorts of awesome VAs responding to your job lead, and they'll come straight to your inbox. So that's probably what I'd recommend.
Handy tip. And I agree. If you ask, because word of mouth referrals is the best, because as you said, trust is a massive, massive thing. So if you can get word of mouth, and one thing that I find really amazing is that people will go into a really big Facebook group and say, I need a VA, and then just get bombarded with all of these responses, and they've just given themselves more work to do. Well, what are you going to do with all that? You've got 100, 200 people going, yeah, I'll help. So if you ask some people that using your actual words and see if they know someone, or you go to virtuallyyours.com.au, at least then you're only going to hear, because we will ask you the questions that you need to be asked. You will only hear from people who have the skills that you need and the availability that you need, because it's so overwhelming, isn't it?
Yeah, that's right. And there's so many VAs out there that specialise in so many different areas. So just saying that you need a VA even is, what do you need them to do? Do you want a bookkeeper? Do you want a website designer? Do you want a graphic designer?
Bookkeeper?
Yeah, it's a big work.
It could be anything. It's like going online and going, I need something to eat. And every person comes on. We sell dog. We sell burgers. We sell carrots. You've really got to narrow it down.
Yeah, I want something sweet. I want something savoury.
Yeah, exactly. Be more specific. And if you don't know, then then you can actually go over to the Virtually Yours website and have a look at some of the services people offer, or book in for a discovery session to have a little bit of a chat. Paula, thank you. She's always in her PJs, she says, and her hair is never brushed. She's a classy chick.
We love Paula.
We do. And Anita, you're right. How long is a piece of string? When you're looking at business support, virtual assistant, as we've discussed many, many times, it's an industry title. It's not an actual service offering. And underneath it is a whole gamut of different types of services. So, yeah, you need to be specific about where you are now, where you want to be, and what the gap is in the middle, and then get the VA that will help you get there. It has been such an absolute joy chatting to you today, Sam. If people want to... That's okay. If anyone wants to learn a little bit more about Sam, and why wouldn't you, make sure you go over to samsays.com.au. Check her out. She's obviously on Facebook as well. Look up Sam Says. I'll have the link below. And, yeah, if you need any sort of social media or admin or newsletter or anything like that, make sure you check her out. She's a pretty amazing VA and someone who you would probably wonder why you didn't have on your team before you got her on board, and think you're pretty crazy. On that note, that's my pleasure. Have an awesome afternoon. Thank you, everyone. And I think our next Facebook Live might be with Corinne Haynes, but I'll double check that and I'll schedule it soon so that you can see it and you can pop it in your diaries. Have an awesome afternoon.
Thanks. Bye. Bye.